believe that that's what was happening with the satellite dishes. So I personally don't have a problem believing that there could be equipment up there that is satellites, whether riding the wave of the ether or on balloons.
When Rob talks about riding the wave of the ether,
I didn't believe that for a while, but that guy Planantes Veritas, Robert Bersano, he did something. I heard him in a conversation with an engineer named Dollar or something like that, some world-renowned engineer that's supposed to be really, really smart. He talked about the sun. He said, well, nobody knows what the sun is. It's just a conductor and this and that. Well, he did mention something about the satellite, because first I didn't believe a satellite. I said it's lies. I don't believe it. But after what you saying, Rob, I kind of agree with him when I saw when he was in conversation with another gentleman talking about how they used equipment, some kind of gondola or something, but during the day when it gets near the sun, it rises up and then it goes down. It has something to do with helium, but they said something. Well, the what do you call it? The ISS has reflectors where they can use that light, and it kind of keeps them up. And then he said that it's recorded that they found that the ISS has dropped down and then it goes back up. So I don't know. There may be some truth to that.
It's riding the ether.
Yeah, it may be some truth to that.
When Rob talks about,
there's some mountain folk in Peru that will argue with you that satellites are up there, just in space.
But how fast is it going? Is it really going 17?
Drop the fucking mic. I know some people in the mountain that will argue with you.
By the coin,
drop the mic.
Flimsy things, and then start thinking about the movie Gravity, that fake movie Gravity. There's it's going and things is flimsy looking. It's got to be some kind of chaos up there. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but they made it look easy.
I mean, I don't have a problem with when you put ether into the equation. I do not have a problem with some type of machines floating around there, because it would have to have a medium in order to be buoyant that high. And science completely destroys the reality of ether. So, but when you put that back into the equation, yeah, it starts to make sense.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Nathan, you kept trying to say something.
I wanted to touch
riding the wave.
Yeah, it was so groovy when you talk about riding the wave of the ether, bro. Just want to say. Well, I think, guys, we pretty much.
One thing that I wanted to go back to.
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But one thing that I wanted to go back to real quick was that about the pictures and how they debunked the pictures about being, the fakery of the NASA photos in the documentary, where, they talked about, of course these things are composites and, all these things. This is how they played it, and they can't get real images of the Earth or pull images of the Earth because we don't go that high anymore. So critical thinking would say, okay, well, we can't get a picture because we don't go 240,000 miles up.
Right.
Then how are we putting rovers on Mars, which is 34 million miles away?
Right.
So why aren't we getting pictures of the Earth every time we put a rover on Mars?
Yep.
Well,
critical thinking would make you say.
Some would say we did. Well, and this was one of the things that started me changing my belief system was the Galileo space probe that was on its way to Jupiter, supposedly, in 1990, turned around and shot the image of the Earth. And that was the time lapse of a 25-hour rotation of the Earth, allegedly, shot in 1990, but none of the clouds are moving. So I'm looking at that going, wait a minute. 25 hours, none of the clouds are moving.
You guys see what I'm doing?
Yeah, in the documentary, they won't even touch this stuff, and that's what is this completely dishonesty, or is it they claim they've looked into these things, and yet they are just either being completely dishonest or again operating in complete ignorance, and that would be the challenge. If you guys are watching, answer that question. I think I've asked you guys that twice. Same with the moon landing. I mean, that was such a farce. of debunked moon landing in 3 minutes with a an astronaut. And so it was absolutely amazing. If you guys watched the documentary, that was probably one of the most cringe-worthy moments of how they debunked the moon landing. So, that was crazy.
And one quote from that documentary is, "You're free to travel to and from the Antarctic." And I wrote BS after that. If there's some great videos out there. I know, Rob, you had one of a guy's videos on there. I forget. Do you guys remember the Antarctica off limits or something?
Like that? Abu Conspiracy put one out called Antarctica No Admittance or something like that. I can't remember what it was. But
closed. Was it closed or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that video is the best one I've seen of breaking it down. What would it take to just willy-nilly go wherever you want in Antarctica? So I'd encourage people to check that out. So, I mean, just to say that, you're free to travel to and from. Yeah, we'll jump on a cruise ship and we'll look at the coast, and that's going to be good enough. There's such little infantile arguments that they throw out here.
They remember when they showed the 24-hour video in Antarctica, and then they tried to say that, well, flat earthers say this is fake, and then they say all the other ones are fake, and then they say, well, basically, if that's your logic, then everyone who's gone to Antarctica is a liar. And like in the group that I run, we've had people that have gone to Antarctica in December and will admit they didn't see a 24-hour sun, and they're globe heads. They'll say, I had to go to sleep at some point, Nathan. I couldn't be out there all day, or try and dismiss it, right? They'll try and dismiss it, and say, but they won't say it happened. And they're globe earthers saying it did, that won't say it happened. So, like, to say that we claim everyone who's gone there is a liar and they all see 24-hour days is not true. It's just not true. So,
well, yeah, but also what I would like to see is the physical orb of the sun in an uncut 24-hour time lapse. Now, I realize that's a tall order because there are a lot of clouds and problems like that, with the atmospheric conditions and stuff like that. But for the idea that there could be 24-hour illumination, I don't have any problem with that. When the sun's out in the farthest circuit, under a reflective dome, that as the dome becomes more shallow as it gets closer to the ground of Antarctica, presumably attaching to the Earth according to Amos 9:6, somewhere in the vicinity of 800 to 1,200 or more miles from the coastline, it's getting more and more shallow. So the sun's on its outer Capricorn, I think. I always get them mixed up. But whatever the so-called southern
Capricorn.
Okay, so when the sun's going around the outer rim, going around Capricorn, as the dome is getting more and more shallow, I don't have any problem believing that dome can be reflecting light such that you would have 24-hour light in Antarctica. The question is, can you actually see the orb of the sun for 24 hours? And that I have yet to see. I'm not saying it has never been done. I have not seen it.
Got rid of me.
We were talking about.
I'm not on a name titled biracial child abuse or anything like that. Not doing that.
Messing around with, experimenting with just the frequencies, but check this out.
What's up, Emily?
I can sit here and I can manipulate. This is just a regular magnet. But here, these are magnets you can get at the dollar store. They call them. I don't know what they're called. Like, they're supposed to make noise. But anyway, I bought 2 packs out there. I bought half. You can see her take this.
I doubt the sun is a spear.
Flat table. Let me let it sit still, okay? Now let me get these near. Now, just by me turning these, dialing in like a tuner, I can actually sit here and manipulate these magnets. I can get it to spin.
Hey, Rick.
Yeah.
Do you think that might be the way the tides happen?
Well, here's the theory that I've had a while. This is my theory.
That might be the way the tides happen.
What it says that the Earth was void without form.
Do you think the giants make the tides?
Without form, what does that mean? Void means what?
Is that Rick Hummer, the CIA agent?
Or it's not there. It just doesn't even exist.
Is that
without form also means
is that Harambe?
It has nothing. Well, when I started looking into this, I'm like, well, what does the word Earth mean in that particular context? Well, I believe it meant the land. I believe it meant all the ground, the hills, the dirt, everything.
Robbie Davids, who's the
And so,
leader?
if you have the waters, let me do it this way. So you have the waters that, like, let's just say the waters were flat. Let's just say that, because water's a natural level. Or let's just say whatever.
Damn, son. Where'd
I'm
you
going to
get
say
that?
this. God took the waters here, and he split them in half. And he ended up putting the waters above. Right? Now, is this water above different from this water down below other than where it went? No. Right? So you got the waters above, you got the waters below. The earth was void without form. There's no land yet, right? There's no land yet. There's no dirt. What is dirt made from? What do we know dirt is? What is it? What is it? It's minerals, right? What kind of water do you drink if you have enhanced with minerals, right? So if you take the water down below and you start bringing all of the minerals together to create dirt, what's going to happen to this water down here compared to the water up top? It's going to thin out. You're going to have thinner water down below than you have on top. And if the water on top or the waters that are different on the outside along the area, along the perimeter,
thanks,
they're
Rupert
be
Cow.
Water, right? So what could that mean for the water up here? It could mean that it's actually a harder water.
My troll army of one.
Yeah. In this water would eventually be attracted to the magnetism that's down below, creating a hard line shell barrier.
Which I just
and
do
that barrier
streams and get
also
my
goes down
chat
below, where there's mineral below, and that's why you can't get past 8 miles when you start to drill. They don't have a bit to get through that type
Sounds
of
legit.
form.
You can always find me in
So
the Flat Earth
when you look
Live.
at this, and
my
you
brethren.
understand that under the Flat Earth model, if it's a circle in a square on pillars, what you find out is that if you have a hole in the middle, you've created a magnetic force field, which would then form ether inside that would need a positive and a negative to exist.
A positive and negative.
Deep, bro. It's deep.
Deep,
Very deep.
Yeah.
So where did the dirt come from? No one's ever asked that. Where did the dirt come from? Well, let's find out what it says in Genesis. It says that the earth was void without form. There was no land. And that land did not get put together until after the water was divided. Which therefore the minerals had to be brought together some way, somehow. The minerals came from somewhere. Because they're tangible.
Well, everything came from water because water existed before you start even hovering, right? We see that water is just existing. So everything, if you want to say it, God created everything through the water.
Right.
It's interesting, man. That's deep.
Water is the secrets. Everything.
Well, that makes a lot of sense because it says the earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep. Okay, so water was there first.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, that makes sense.
Logical. Water makes sense. I can't argue against water.
And you make that. Well, what did he do?
There's no defeater.
He used magnetism. He used energy that creates ether, that will create plasma, that will create.
What is
frequency of
ether?
light when you have it within your own eyes.
What is ether?
You can only see certain light for so long, and you add perspective.
They won't
into the
tell me
mix.
what ether is.
Now you're gonna get some really cool.
Tell me what ether is.
Yeah, well, if it ain't that, hospital guap, get her, that's no. All in the hospital, they go. Hop in a Benz, Jetta, or Rolls, whether ballin' or pro, I'ma kill 'em all slow. And I be walking with a bunch of swag, but fuck that word, though, fuck, I'm back. My shit just like Kurt Cole, yep, it bangs. And I'm beating motherfuckers like a punching bag. When I walk up in the club and these boys wanna look, paint wetter than a tub, and the time rolling up. You can check all of my funds, and you know I'm coming up.
The further away the frequency gets from you, the wider the angle of the frequency spreads apart. So that would change its color. Yeah.
Even with what we had, you could see what was about 50,000 feet, somewhere in that ballpark. Blue started fading to black, but we never saw any stars. And this is something that has been a pet peeve of mine: is like, where are the stars? And people kind of tell me, you're an idiot, you know, it's the exposure of the camera. I'm like, look, I work with cameras.
Right.
Like, and I'm going to post this one of these days. I'm trying to get back on seed, but I got like 100 videos that are in various states that I'll probably never get released. But I went outside. There was a street lamp right outside my house, and I went outside at night. It was one of those nights where I think it's probably Jupiter was off to the side of the moon. So you have a bright shining moon, a bright street lamp, and I used the flash on my iPhone and took a picture of my hand. So I got my hand brightly illuminated by this, with the street lamp and the moon, and I can still see it. And I challenge anybody. Anybody could do this. Anybody could go out and do this. It's going to debunk right away the nonsense. It's like, if my freaking iPhone can pick up Jupiter with the flashlight shining on my hand and the street light and the moon, what's wrong with NASA? What's an iPhone out there, for God's sake?
Our laptop's down to 2%. I really appreciate you having me on, Chris, and everything. I'll see you guys all in Ohio.
Yeah, man.
Real quick, I want to leave with this. You guys know what a green flash is, right?
Yeah.
You know what a green flash is? Okay, well, the first colors from the sun to refract are the short wavelengths. The purple and so green flashes are proof the sun is above the, because if the sun was below the horizon, colors would invert. The first colors to the purple and the green, and then people the suns. Just look when I'm gonna leave you guys this one. This green flash, smoking gun that the sun of the horizon when it's I love you.
Smoking gun.
I love y'all, man. You guys are awesome. You guys are warriors.
All right, brother.
See you, Dr. Thompson.
Flat Earth Warriors unite. We form like Voltron.
Sun,
Rob Skiba just happened to be the head.
There you go.
always above.
He's always saying it's always above. He's cutting out. It's always
How did
above.
that happen?
Well, you know, along similar lines, talking about the sun and stuff, I just wanted
See you, Nate.
See you, man. You know, these guys would make statements in that documentary like, there's no way this could happen. I'm like, what are you talking about? There's no way. There's been lots of videos. I mean, I've produced a bunch of them. A whole lot of other people have made videos showing most of the arguments that they are saying is we have an answer for them. We've gone out and done tests. We've proven things. That there are ways that these things happen. So they're making these broad stroke statements. There's no way that could happen on a flat Earth. But yeah, there is. Like, you know, the sun setting and stuff. I'm not going to play it here just for the sake of time, but this video people can look up for themselves. This was one on my channel, Atmospheric Magnification / Refraction and the Movement of the Sun over the Earth. It's a 4-minute video. It talks about atmospheric refraction and how you can get a sunset, you know, with a sun moving parallel to the surface of the Earth, no problem. This video right here, 26 minutes long, Flat Earth and Atmospheric Magnification. That's the short version, 26 minutes. Yeah, there's a bunch of other ones, Flat Earth videos. You can, there's 108 videos in there, but you can go through and see some of the experiments that I did, and based on mainstream science logic. You got mainstream science guys, like the guys that tried to explain why the Chicago skyline could be seen, and an optics professor at a university said, well, the atmosphere acts like a magnifying glass. You know, like a lens. You know, and you can look up atmospheric refraction and stuff like that, even on Wikipedia, and it will tell you that it acts like a magnifying glass. That just makes sense because the atmosphere is full of an insane amount of moisture. I mean, there's so much, you know, especially in the summertime, obviously there's more because of humidity, but just in general, there's a lot of moisture in the air. What is moisture? Well, it's microscopic drops of water. Well, spherical drops of water, put them all together, you got a big convex lens. What's a convex lens? It's a magnifying glass. So I'm taking their science and applied it with a little test that anybody can do with about $5 worth of material you can get at Walmart, and demonstrate how the lower parts of cities can easily disappear, how the sun can set. There you go. Yeah, you know, actually, maybe I will play. It's only 4 minutes long.
Yeah. That was a good video. I like that one.
Yeah, same here.
Sorry. Always a commercial break.
Hey, I want to get one of those.
Water in our atmosphere. I went to a few websites. I just did a Google how much water is in the atmosphere. And this is the USGS website, usgs.gov, Science for a Changing World. The USGS Water Science School talks about there is always water in the atmosphere. Clouds are, of course, the most visible manifestation of atmospheric water. But even clean air contains water. Water in particles that are too small to be seen. One estimate of the volume of water in the atmosphere at any one time is about 3,100 cubic miles per 12,900 cubic kilometers. And it goes on to say that if all the water that's in the atmosphere were to rain down at once, it would cover the globe to a depth of about 1 inch. This is confirmed on a number of websites, but I'll just show you one more just for the sake of argument here. This is the Y Files, the science behind the news. They have an article, How Much Water is in the Atmosphere? It says, at any moment, the atmosphere contains an astounding 37.5 million billion gallons of water in the invisible vapor phase. This is enough water to cover the entire Earth, land and ocean, with 1 inch of rain. And, of course, goes on to talk about that as well. So, yeah, there's a lot of water in the atmosphere. I think we all kind of just know that, but I don't think we've ever really thought about what that means. And so I'm thinking if the water is made up of zillions and zillions of tiny convex drops of water, then collectively perhaps they all combine to make one big convex lens, in which case it would act like a magnifying glass. Okay, so with that in mind, let's look up some websites dealing with the refraction of light. You might see a graphic, something like this, showing light bending downward. And here's your typical graphic showing how light rays entering some sort of medium, like in this case water, refraction causes the light to bend downward. Now we've all seen pictures of, a pencil or something in a glass of water, and how not only does refraction bend the image downward, it also magnifies it. I'm going to say that again. Water causes refraction, bending the image downward, and magnifies it. So this is important now. So now back to another clip from that previous video.
Science is the same of that of a lens. Here's a simple example.
So if you're looking at Chicago here, now you can just see the top of the Sears Tower, and if our simulated temperature inversion moves into place, hopefully now you can see pretty much all of Chicago, including what's at ground level.
So the atmosphere really is acting like a lens.
So the atmosphere really is acting like a lens. You heard it right from the horse's mouth, so to speak. The atmosphere really is acting like a lens. I thought that one actually showed the sunset and stuff, but you could watch some of the other videos on there where I actually took a magnification sheet, one of those reader sheets you can get, and set it up and put a cutout of a city behind it, and on a flat surface, using the camera of my iPhone. So you can imagine that here's the phone, here's the sheet representing the atmosphere, and here's the city. All I did was pull the camera back, and what do you know? You lose the lower part of the city. Wow! Without curvature. And then I thought, well, if it worked by moving the camera back, what if I just kept the camera stationary, kept the atmosphere lens in place, and then had a sun, like on a platform, that kept the same distance above the table and moved the sun away? Well, what do you know? The sun set. And what was interesting is because I'm moving the sun further away from the magnification sheet, it kept the same size, or pretty darn close to it, because it's moving away, but as it's moving away, it's being magnified. So the sun kept pretty close to the same size as it was when it was close, when it moved away, but the light was bending downward, causing the sun to set, moving across a flat surface, parallel across a flat surface. So, these people say there's no way. That's like saying 2 + 2 is the only way you can get to 4.
Right.
It's like, no, there's a lot of different ways you could get to 4. 2 plus 2 is not the only way to 4.
Right.
You gotta spend some time thinking about it, and you'll realize, you know what? This was part of, people wonder why, otherwise presumably sane people would believe something like this and risk everything.
I have unlimited alt
there's
accounts.
no benefit to becoming a flat earther. I mean, you're ridiculed. You lose, all kinds of stuff. Friends.
You make $2,000 a month on YouTube. Being a flat earther is terrible.
Save me from being a flat earther.
I hate making money. I wish it was a globe. Please take all your money back. Let it be a sphere.
Ignorance, please. Well, it's because you start looking. First of all, Scripture. There's no way. Sorry, Danny. Sorry, Dr. Boyd. The Bible's a flat Earth book. You can't get around it. You can lie about it, which is what you guys are doing.
Right.
But it's a flat Earth book, and if you claim to be a Bible-believing Christian, well, then you're stuck, because that's what it says. But then when you go out and start doing tests for yourself, and you don't immediately just as soon as you have some kind of result, say, okay, that's it, yay. You got to break it down. You got to test it again. You peer review, right? I mean, that's what real science is supposed to be. And but science is supposed to be testable, observable, and
now we're going to troll
back out there, and
they don't know
I can tell you what I did. Well, you should be able to go out and do the same test I did and get the same results, given the same conditions.
I want to get my name out there.
And what we find the longer video.
Oh shit! Why does it keep happening?
This is the short version here. This one talks about. This city right here, where I was when I took this picture. I'm like, I think it was like a half a mile away. That's the Willis Tower, and yet we could see that from 46 miles away. We could see the Willis Tower, but it looked like this. Okay, so here's my car, right? Or I'm not my car. I'm sitting in the car taking a picture of this car in front of that. Whoops! In front of that.
Dude, where's my car?
Like a half mile away. And yet, so I scaled the same car down to the relative size of this boat, which is about maybe a half mile away from where we were on the beach. Look at the size of the Willis Tower. From 46 miles away.
Right.
I think it's the
compared to the car. Clearly, this thing is magnified.
The globe line.
And so I do this little animation where the magnifying glass brings the city up, but it also makes it look like it's we're missing a part of it.
Right.
And so initially went out a couple dollars, right, for a little magnifying glass, and made this cutout of a city with some Scotch tape, and I
we're trolling, boys.
Put it on a table.
They think I'm an anti-Semitic flat earther.
I put my iPhone on the top of that chair right there.
These people think I'm an anti-Semite.
Even with the surface right there, and then that kept the camera like a dolly on the chair, and I pulled the chair back, and wow, check it out,
Yeah. I thought that test was so cool. That was so cool. Boom.
And then in this part of the video, it's actually
was
Mr.
better.
Thrive and Survive. Richard
before Israel existed.
Talking about how completely insane it was for this weatherman to call that a mirage, and he talks about it from a science perspective why that's ridiculous. But then I show this footage right here of Skunk Bay, and over time
we're gonna start out subtle, guys, and then we're gonna move on to lampshades.
Disappear over time because of the atmospheric conditions, and it gets warmer and stuff and cooler. And it, right now you can see everything, but all of a sudden, as the day progresses, it starts getting wavier and wavier, and you start losing part of the buildings here, and the mountain in the background stretches and stuff. You'll have to watch the whole thing.
I can talk shit about Jews and I won't get banned, though.
Here's the experiment with the sheet.
Oh, did you delete?
So I'm using the little magnification sheet. I'm right up on the city. That's Chicago. I'm going to pull my camera back on the table, and remember what the expert said: the atmosphere really is acting like a lens.
Right.
So
here we go.
And I'm going to do a comparison here.
Jews.
Look at how much of the city is missing from the beginning.
Jews.
The atmosphere. That's much is missing.
Hollywood.
It's a curve of the
and
table.
the media.
It's a curve of the I'm using their science. This is
right.
You're the ones that gave me the idea. I'm like, okay, well, that was exactly like a lens. Let's put a lens in front of the camera and see what happens.
That's the best weapon to use against their own.
This is how we
whatever they say.
Flat Earth, we say
best
anti-Semite shit, and they don't
the
ban us,
other
but they
good
ban
point
us if we
to your
say the
experiment
Earth is a globe
is
because they're
that
fucking
what
weird.
happens with your small scale also happens in the larger scale. Physics is not affected by time, distance, or scale.
Check my flat Earth flow.
Whatever results you
Act
get
like you don't
with
know
that
me, though.
experiment can legitimately happen in the real world.
Right.
Rob, that also reminds me about sunsets in the desert. I don't know if you have that in your video, but
Yeah,
the
I
size.
put the video too soon. I made a mistake. I'll go ahead and keep playing it because I forgot that I stopped it too quick. So here's the experiment that I did with the.
Yeah, that was the one I saw. I thought that was so cool. I said, what? I remember watching it the first time. I said, no way.
Same compatible lens. Here's a simple example. The atmosphere really is like
Yes.
That's not real, you faked it.
I think Hitler was actually a good person, and they lied about him.
So that was the one that at the end of it I showed the desert when there's, less moisture, and it showed the sun getting hot. Now people will argue, like Danny Faulkner will say, they just did, they didn't put a filter on the lens, and I understand the argument. There's some truth to that. If you didn't have a polarizing lens and what have you on there, you're seeing. You're seeing the glare of the sun when it's higher, and as it's getting further away, that glare is diminishing. So I understand the argument. But I've also seen stuff that even with filters, that especially in those kind of conditions, it's going to look small. And it also kind of makes this curve.
Relax a little, twin.
Right. Down on its circuit. But there's no problem with sunset, sunrise, and sunset. Between it's not just perspective. Yes, there is the law of perspective.
Banning my insane anti-Semitism.
There's also the angular acuity, visual acuity of the eye. Our eye is a lens in and of itself, so the way we perceive things, that's all playing a part of it. But when you combine all of that with what's happening with the atmosphere acting like a lens itself, there's no problem with sunrise and sunset, with the sun coming and going, just as Scripture says in the Hebrew.
And Rob, one of the things I want to point out is that video of the town or the peak, or wherever that was, the cave.
Skunk Bay.
Yeah, where that disappears, if you notice, there's almost like a mist or something. I'm wondering, when that video was taken...
My God, what a fucking liar.
I'm not asking if you know.
Dude, saying
my point in this
there's no problem with a sunrise and sunset with a fucking straight face. Insane lies. Craziness.
The water,
this guy's CIA, right? This is Robbie CIA.
Water evaporates, it goes up, right?
Right? You look like
that, right?
You look like a fucking agent.
Salt water,
right?
Is a big conductor.
You don't look like a flat
earther.
It is a conductor.
And
I don't believe you're a flat earther, sir.
Across the sky, all right. Let me do it this way. So the sun comes across the sky like
We're
this.
fucking trapping in this bitch.
The water would be pulled up towards the sun over there as it's going across the ocean, right? And it's trapped around the ocean like water back. The sun is going to pull water through it. What happens to the tide during the day? Bring daylight out wherever you are along the coastline. What happens to the tide during the day? It gets pulled out. The tide goes out. So where's the water going? It's going to the sun. As the sun goes up, water gets pulled towards the sun.
Brenda, you are brainwashed by Jews.
And so when the moon comes by, it pushes the water back in. And the tide comes in. And the water, when
Yeah, I'm trolling a government operation. But they're freaking low-level PR monkeys on YouTube. I don't think I have to worry about them. They don't even probably know they're working for the government, except for maybe robbing CIA.
Yeah, dude. You know what?
Yeah. The water would be. And I didn't see the clouds in the sky. Hey, that's my point. The water itself. And it makes sense that if we have something above drawing the water to it, pulling the water up, and bringing the water away from the land, to wherever the sun is located, you're always going to have high water wherever the sun is.
See if I've been banned.
Has anyone ever taken a balloon with static electricity on it?
I get banned
water in
for
a
saying
faucet
globe things,
questioning,
asking questions.
Take the balloon close to that water coming out of the
I can
faucet,
say a
it will
bunch of
bend
shit
the
about
water
Jews,
toward
and they
the
don't
balloon.
ban me. Ha!
And that's or away from it, and that supports what you're saying.
Is that exposing something? Am I exposing? Are we exposing?
The ether would allow that to happen.
Are they exposed? Who's exposed?
I'm just saying, I find it interesting. This stuff's right in our face. The sun, during the day, tides go out. At night, they come back in.
Vinny TV, you lied to me. You tricked me.
And on a full moon, they always say that the tides are going to get a bigger tide coming. The full moon. Well, the moon...
Listen, are you listening, Vinny?
The light is pushing the water away.
You lied to me, Vinny. You lied to me, Vinny. Antonio says you was just pretending to be mad at him, so I would tell you who the porn bombers are. Was that the plan? Well, I don't know the porn bombers, Vinny, because I don't do that sort of thing. I'm just here to argue for, liberty and justice in the American way. That's all I'm about, Vinny.
They tell. I think a lot of the questions that we wanting to know, like what you're thinking, I believe they know the truth.
What you thinking?
I think they know something. They know exactly how certain things are.
I think
some
this
things
is
I don't
a
think they'll know
monkey.
because Scripture tells us that no man knows.
I think.
But certain things like that you're talking about, your theory,
This is a
whatever it
gorilla,
I
and
think
that's a
if
gorilla.
somebody's
That's a
honest
monkey.
at
That's
NASA,
a
they'll
orangutan, and
probably
the other
look
one's a
around,
gorilla in a
okay,
person
I can't
costume.
tell you this, but look, this is what we know.
That's
and
Harambe.
This is true. You don't know it because we don't tell anybody. You know what I mean? It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me a bit.
They
It wouldn't
lie all
surprise me
the
at all
time.
because they actually have the resources.
How did they prove Harambe died? How do we know that's not Harambe?
How they work. Again, they're not going to know everything because no man will. But there are certain things in creation that if you have enough resources, you can do some experiments and learn what it is. And so, yeah, there's a possibility NASA knows far more than they're letting on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course. That's why I look at their logo.
Yeah,
well,
right.
how many documents do we have that say that all their calculations were based on a stationary, non-rotating flat Earth?
Exactly. Right.
Every fucking
the
thing
math.
I say
Wait a
has to
minute.
do with Israel.
That-
That's ridiculous.
And they do not ban me.
When you look through the manual,
But if I
it's
say
full
I
of
think
math,
the
I mean,
Earth
the
is a
math
globe,
is
I will
like
get
all over the
banned.
place because you have to. It is rocket science, literally, right? I mean,
yeah.
Circular reasoning.
Come on.
I thought it was funny their experiment with looking out over water, how they were saying, we put in so much effort. It's like you park one guy here, you went there, you with the camera.
Yeah.
So much,
Here we go, guys.
in the middle
Here
of
we
the
go.
day,
I got some land.
in the middle of the day, and they're like, "Whoa, look at that with all the humidity and stuff," and we're having a hard time seeing across there. It's like, no kidding. Why don't you do like actual people put in a lot of effort and go early in the morning, go in the afternoon, go in the evening, go at 2 times of the year. Do actual research. Like, we're parked here right now. Well, they would have sat there all day until the sun started to go down. Miraculously, all that haze will start to dissipate, and then it'll go down and down and down. Ooh, there's the guy with the flag right there. How do I know? Because I've done this stuff. And many of you guys have done it. And I wear the lab coat I have, so you can trust me, right?
I'm glad you got the white lab coat on there, Chad. I'm looking at
you. Feel much better.
Boom.
I feel much better.
It's my bathrobe, but it's the closest thing I can.
I feel smarter just listening to you.
Man. I swear, these guys are either complete morons and did no research on all these topics, or they're deliberately lying, like Chris said. It's one or the other, because the amount of research that they obviously would have done to be as ignorant as they are and as ignorant as they come across is mind-boggling. The arguments and things that they're putting forward are idiotic. And it pisses me off that they're actually have the guts to put this kind of stuff out there. And
he didn't even acknowledge me.
That's why we need to hit back.
Did
like
that
Rob
not
was,
get banned?
Mentioning before.
Way.
We've got to put together a thorough documentary. Putting this out there, the biblical Earth, the model.
I got
really
some German lampshades off
the
eBay from World War II.
And I mean, what are they going to do? What are they going to do to come back? To actually tackle that. They're going to have to actually do research. They're going to have to actually tackle all these other scriptures rather than just sideline them. That was pretty much.
These people are getting banned for talking about a globe.
Like, I trust these guys. Yeah, flat Earth is pretty silly, but again, there is no real research. But I think it's important that we all kind of do that, come together, put something out there, because these are the things that people are going to look to, for a long time, saying, what do people believe when it comes to the biblical literal take of creation? And we have one comprehensive documentary or whatever out there that goes through everything. All that nonsense finally figured it out. Because we know already it's been debunked, right? We already know it's silly argument. So let's touch on that, how silly that is, like Rob does when he's like debunking Flat Earth 101, right? All that silliness, we'll have that in the documentary and say, look, this is all nonsense. Let's get to the hard facts here so people will realize that a lot of these argumentations they're using are absolutely silly, and it is ridiculous. It's like they're lazy, like you said. They could be lazy, they could be really dumb, or it's intentional. But again, when they're saying that all of this attention of Flat Earth is to try to take their ministries down, it could be nothing further from the truth. We're just calling them to take account. Are you willing to take a stand on the Word of God rather than saying, well,
he doesn't What is he talking about? What does the Bible say about lying about the flat Earth? What does the Bible say about that? I wonder. I wonder. I wonder what it says.
You talk about the worst roads you ever seen. As soon as you get to the casinos, from the Texas side into Louisiana, just go on the other side of the casinos to see how bad the roads are.
You guys, you'll never believe this. Rob Skiba and Robbie Davidson are doing a hangout on live YouTube right now, and they're saying that the Earth is flat.
Oh my God, it's not, is it?
I swear to God.
Reacting to Duda, Logan Paul.
No, they were actually proving the Earth is flat. Like Rob Skiba said that there's no issue with the sunrise and sunset with a straight face.
Rob Skiba's from Denton. He's from Denton.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's from Denton. He's got a church up there, I thought.
That's what the hell? I didn't know that.
Real now. That's it.
Yeah, well,
it's real. Shit just got real.
It's real now. Oh my God.
That's probably why they're having that international conference in Dallas time in Frisco.
Or it's got something to do with maybe paying their rent or mortgages, car bill, something.
On the whole, Logan Paul.
Buy my T-shirt. Here's a coffee cup.
There's a live stream called Live with Patty's P.
Hey, the last two Flat Earth
meetups, buy me a camera.
The last two Flat Earth meetups I went to were totally free, with free food and drinks.
Free is the way to go.
Yeah, if it's free, it's for me. I'll have some Flat Earth pancakes.
I just tipped the waiters is all I did.
Flat Earth continental breakfast.
David, would you go to one of these Robbie Davidson scam conferences? Would you pay money for that, David?
I'm going to the one in November.
Oh shit! I suppose you live there.
I'm gonna go to the one. the 2019 International Flat Earth International Conference.
You'll
So
save
you're
money
gonna
on a
pay for
hotel.
it? You're gonna pay money to go do it?
Yeah, I'm gonna pay I'm gonna pay the ticket to get in. Yeah.
Dave's
How much
our
is the
man
ticket?
undercover.
How much is the ticket? How much is the ticket gonna be,
I
bud?
don't know. They've got it where you could be a VIP, like $450.
$450?
Yeah, and then I think the regular tickets are like.
That's not a scam at all.
And the regular tickets are like $7.75 or something. I think.
$7.75?
Oh, $75.
Oh, that's not a scam at all, is it?
No, because you get to eat dinner with Patty.
Oh, so you
That's
get
worth
a $12
$150.
I ate dinner with Patty.
$12 dinner with Miss McBoobs.
I ate dinner with Patty, and she bought me a free vegan dinner.
Oh my God, can you imagine eating that crap? Oh,
Mm.
sorry,
Have some
vegan.
tofu.
Oh, what are you talking about? It was real. It was at a fancy restaurant.
Oh,
too.
these little gray cubules of food substance.
I only ate about.
Mmm. You can't use any sauce because, well, I mean, let's face it, sauces taste good, and we're not trying to taste good here.
No.
Where's the lamb sauce?
So right.
Where's the lamb sauce, guys? Where's the lamb sauce?
Oh, I want to listen to Channel Q's song. These guys are still fucking.
The entire
mad.
second day to make the firmament. God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the water. Let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament divide the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And so, and God called the firmament heaven. And even more on the second day, an entire day was devoted to pounding out this firmament thing. An entire day, and when you read Psalm 19. Verse 1, it says the firmament, it talks about the firmament declaring his handiwork. But this is important to God. Why? His throne is sitting on top of this thing. So as soon as you dismiss the firmament and write it off as to ether, they don't even say ether, air, gas, vacuum of space.
Right, they literally say nothing.
They're saying nothing. That's right. They have taken something that God considers extremely important. It declares his handiwork and who he. Interesting that Werner von Braun has that on his tombstone of all things. The throne is a big deal, guys. Like, this is huge. The throne of God is sitting on top of this thing.
Yeah, right.
And he devoted an entire day to its creation. And these creation ministries, these creation guys, just want to completely dismiss it and call it the vacuum of space, the expanse.
I don't understand how people don't see the intimacy behind the design and what he did by looking at what the scriptures say.
Right.
He made something really special for us. That's the bottom line.
Maybe that's not Robbie
I don't know about
Hunter.
you guys, but if somebody, who was it that put this video out? Who was it?
The creation guys.
The creation guys. Okay. All I'm going to say is if somebody, like, say one of you guys called me and said, hey, we're going to have a get-together, and we're going to watch this video, and then we're going to talk about the video when it's over. What's the video about? Oh, it's something these guys called the Grill Masters made it. Oh, well, what is it? Well, they said they're going to serve up some awesome steaks. All I can tell you is after that 2 hours, I feel like somebody handed me a box of Twinkies.
Yeah.
Because it was sweet, it was fun, it was packaged nice, but I'll tell you what, when it comes right down to
See
it,
if anything else is on.
it could cause a cavity.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, these guys, they were lamenting this,
This
saying
is
the
pretty
flat Earth
weird
movement.
sometimes.
No, chances are, in my opinion, there's a good chance that there's a significant body of land, significant amount of land somewhere in there. Maybe not nearly as big. It might not be as big as the continents we know, but it's big enough.
Oh yeah, but to think that there's absolutely nothing out there just boggles my mind. I heard something about cunts. I'm here to put the dick in Dixie and the cunt back in country.
The whole thing to me, I don't understand. like obviously it's a huge theory. Like it literally takes everything that we know and like
that was awesome.
You have to come up with a new explanation for it. But it just seems so easy to just fund some kind of device to just go and take a camera and prove it.
Well, here's the thing. What if there is something out there,
People
and
are trying to do
outside of our government control? You go out there, and there's a whole bunch of people out there who don't like you, and you.
Fuck, I should have like not got banned in this Discord. I should have tried to stay in here. It's impossible not to get banned.
Like,
though.
there is that.
We got lost.
I would have had to troll. I would have just had to say the Earth is flat. I couldn't even talk. Like, there's no way I could be in here and talk. I would get banned.
What do you mean? Like,
I don't know, because I think if I would troll in here and say the Earth is flat, they would catch on that I was joking.
Go into space and then, like, what's gonna happen? I mean, I'm not saying like a person going to space. Like, just.
No, listen,
Well, I went out. I got banned in this Discord calling Karen B a drug addict junkie. So I don't know. I think it was worth it. I went down swinging.
Privately launching balloons, privately with cameras attached, trying to take these pictures, and they always somehow something happens. You know, like
you know what I'm gonna say about those people?
Distract from something else.
Those people.
Technology.
By the Russians.
These guys are just
you know, and it is purely speculation.
Oh God, Flat Earth fucking is he gonna?
The people who are reading books like that were in the cities, and only 30% of the world's population was contained in cities, whereas now like 80% of the world's population is contained
Yeah, that's Agenda 21.
in cities. Right.
Yeah, I'm just saying the height of the.
They want to change from a rural. I was just reading a quote by Zbigniew Brzezinski talking about that. Maybe I can find that.
Popularity of those, I would say, would be around the same time that whole hoax, War of the Worlds.
Well, a lot of people think that was just a test to see what the population would do in that sort of situation. And
perfectly, because I think that was probably the height of the.
This is a part of Agenda 21, and Brzezinski talked about it way before Agenda 21. The turmoil inherent in the shift from a rigidly traditional rural society to an urban one engenders an inclination to seek total answers to social dilemmas, thus causing ideologies to thrive in the industrializing society. So he's saying as we switch from a rural society to an urban one, we'll create social problems. And the social problems will cause probably dangerous ideologies to thrive. And I think we're seeing that manifest in a big way currently on YouTube. I think the dangerous ideology isn't Flat Earth. The dangerous ideology is this mentality of suppressing people that disagree and not being able to argue with someone who disagrees with you. So you have to ban them, or, I mean, really, that's a small step. See, wouldn't it, if it starts out on social media where we're banning people, then maybe that's like a step towards them getting us to accept passing a law to make it a crime, to limit our free speech or how we choose to report on things we believe in, really. Report on the news ourselves.
Interest in those comments.
I mean, I don't think so. I think now science fiction is probably more popular.
Like Fight the Flat Earth says, he wants it to be a crime to be stupid. They wanted to make it a crime to be wrong on the internet or something.
Than it's ever been.
Well, yeah. Well, but that's because everything that's stated as fact is probably science fiction. Like,
yeah, I like to bring it up.
This is the reverse psychology shit.
When
they think because they figured out one thing is a lie, they think everything's a lie now.
William Shatner went around
You just have to fucking put it on YouTube and say it's a lie, and they think it's a lie.
talking to a whole bunch of scientists and physicists.
And say, I don't believe it's a lie. I know it's a lie. And then they go, oh, that resonates with me. They're so fucking trained. These hardcore conspiracy people are just as brainwashed as the mainstream. It's quite fascinating.
And then
It's so easy to control people, isn't it?
some interviewer was like, hey, Shatner, what's the difference between science and science fiction? And he just looks over and goes, there is none.
How many times have I heard these people say that William Shatner quote? And oh my god, their heads are filled with useless shit. William Shatner quotes. They're quoting William. Why don't you just quote Kim Kardashian? Jesus shit. What kind of shit's going on here now? I can only imagine.
At the beginning of the movie, they said that you might go far.
I'm bored of you. I'm tired of you. I can maybe get on this panel.
All right. Well, we talked about that already.
No, you don't want to talk to Ron Alaska because he is drunk and dumb and annoying. I'm Ron Alaska. I'm fucking wasted again on a hangout. Gosh, I'm gonna be fucking weird and awkward and get angry.
What about the temperature?
Oh god, that Dem guy's pretty dense too. Fucking Dem over here proves density in the fucking head.
Yeah, you just going stateside somewhere or what?
I'm going to be in Georgia for a little while, probably get some money.
Cool.
And after
I like Healthy Skeptic. Something about
I'll go to
Ron's
Alaska, I
voice is
wanna go
annoying
to
too.
Canada.
Ron is so gay. See what these people are talking about.
Over there to his secret lair.
Fucking, of course, Grim is talking. Fucking Grim.
I eat a lot of eggs.
Yeah, man.
He says you shouldn't eat more than 3 a day.
I'm just saying, whatever you're doing.
Okay, this conversation's cancer. I'm gonna listen to Channel Q's song. Sounded pretty cool. Oblivion, is that what it's called? Oh god. Oh, there. That's alright.
Ever wonder about that tree? If it made a sound, all the things obscured in your vision, do you hear them crying? Destroy oblivion. I will remain oblivious.
Coming in at number 6, we have Iron Mike taking on Steve Zowski. Tyson had built up a record of 18-0 with 18 knockouts, and Steve had a record of 25 wins with 9 losses. Despite the 9 losses, with 4 by TKO, Zowski claimed to have never been knocked off his feet in his entire career. But now he was in with a different breed of fighter.
And round number 1 is underway. Out comes Tyson as he always does, pressing straight forward, doesn't wear a robe into the ring, doesn't wear his socks, just puts on the shoe, the trunks and the gloves, and he's ready to go to war. His jab is just an awesome weapon to drive the first round. Tyson moves in and smacks it. That time was a short left hook to the head. A solid combination by Tyson, who rarely opens up. A solid right hand to the body by Mike Tyson, who looks to be just getting some real heavy live sparring butted or maybe taking a spot in the eye. So not tonight, take a fucking glove. There's a solid right uppercut, Tyson's head. With about 4 seconds to go. And there is a solid shot. Does Zowski stayed up after that one? I don't know. Kevin Rooney, rate his performance tonight. C. How about you rate your performance?
I'm always giving myself a 0. I'm never impressed.
Have you given yourself an A yet?
Never. Perhaps never will.
Probably never will. That's perfection. That's what we're striving for.
At number 5, we have what would be the last 15-round heavyweight title fight ever recorded before the rules changed to 12 rounds in 1987. Mike's opponent would be the 1984 super heavyweight Olympic champion Tyrell Biggs, who had built up an unbeaten record as a pro and was the first to challenge Tyson for his unified titles. Boxing experts Larry Merchant and Angelo Dundee felt that Biggs could be the first man to beat the seemingly invincible Tyson, but that plan fell through after 7 rounds of pure punishment from Iron Mike.
Biggs started to become a stationary target, which is wrong. Does the most damage.
There was a big right hand, best punch of the fight.
That was the left hook, Barry. That was the left hook I was talking about.
And another big left hand, and Biggs is hurt. And there was a huge left hand. And a combination by Tyson. Biggs holding on a great deal now. There was a right hand by Tyson. And another. All the way back to amateur day.
I'm a fool with the drip, I'm a fool with the drip, I'm a fool with the drip, ay. Watch Cap do his drip, every diamond on me, they gon' flash like a pig, ay. If I drip, then she drip too. All this ice got me cold like a igloo, ay. If I drip, then she drip too. This ice on my wrist got me cold like a igloo. I'm a fool with the drip. Diamonds on me, they flash like a pig. We don't pass like assists. If you pass Cap the ball, then you know it's gon' switch. Ayy, all this drip on a nigga got my wrist froze. All this drip on a nigga got his bitch cold. Runny nose, little hoe, I really get the dough. All I know is run it up and we snatch the sauce. Ayy, I'm a fool with the drip, nigga. Ayy, big tool on my hip, nigga. Ayy, we don't pass like assist, nigga. Pass cap the board and you know he gon' switch, nigga. Hold up, that's my old verse. Take it out your whole purse. Pull up in the whip and you know we bout to soul search. Ayy, I got killers in this bitch with me. Ayy, you gotta lift to come get with me. I'm a fool with the drip, I'm a fool with the drip, I'm a fool with the drip, ayy. Watch Cap do his drip, every diamond on me, they gon' flash like a pig, ayy. If I drip, then she drip too. Water ice got me cold like a igloo, ayy. If I drip, then she drip too. This ice on my wrist got me cold like a igloo. Little nigga, what your drip like? What it like? Little nigga, what it look like? Ayy, all I know is get a bankroll. Ayy, turn up with my bank bros. Gang in this bitch and we gangin' on shit. If a nigga press line, he get slaved in this bitch. Ayy, he get slaved like a bitch wig. Ayy, I get the cheese like a McDouble. Water on me drippin', it's a puddle. Disrespect Cap, boy, you bout to be in trouble. Oh, hold up, I just fucked him. I flex on these niggas and I get them ducking. Running a bag up with a bad bitch. Crossing money off a real nigga checklist. Oh, damn. Bitch, put that cash in my hand. I don't need no advance, probably trip out the friends. Getting rich is the plan. He just ended his plans with a badass bitch. And she all on my dick, diamonds all on my wrist. They be flashing on shit, nigga. I'm a fool with the drip, I'm a fool with the drip, I'm a fool with the drip, babe. Watch Cap do his drip, every diamond on me, they gon' flash like a pig, okay? If I drip, then she drip too. All this ice got me cold like a igloo, hey. If I drip, then she drip too. This ice on my wrist got me cold like a igloo.
He doesn't go down. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. The mix comes, right? The mix comes. Fucking it up! Boom! This is down again.
I was nervous, you know. I hadn't had a fight, like a street fight in 7 years, and I was scared, and I was getting paranoid because he was so close. He kept getting close to me. I mean, so I defended myself.
Who threw the first punch here? He did. He sucker punched me because he's with his friends.
At number 1, we have the relentless pounding Tyson dished out on Jesse Ferguson back in 1986. The amount of solid uppercuts landed in this fight was just insane.
And we should mention, Jimmy, before the action heats up too much, this is a 16-foot ring, very much to Tyson's liking. Tyson's so special. He threw a tremendous left hook, missed with it, and didn't go off balance. Always in position to punch. Not giving him very many punching opportunities.
No one in the arena believed before this began that it would go to a decision.
He broke Ferguson's nose, Jim. He is in desperate trouble. He will not last much longer. Rivera almost stopped it there. Mike Tyson's known as a great finisher. Let's see how he does with Ferguson.
Was in trouble in both